Greetings, Patrick here, 8 questions with, and welcome to the show. It was cold earlier and actually got warmer as the day went on. And so it's a little bit, feels more like summer, end of summer than fall. So we're here today with our special guest, um, Laura and Joel, also known as the Newlydeads. And they are a bunch of fun, that is for sure. As some of you might know, because you heard me all the time, uh, I do a series on my channel called Dollar Theater. Uh, in it, we watch and review movies that we get for under $1. Uh, some you just never know what's going to happen. You don't know what we're going to pull, what we're going to watch. And Joel and Laura do the same thing, but they tweak it a little bit slightly. They do it for $5 and below, and they stick mostly to horror and thrillers and science fiction. Now they also look at movies that they haven't seen before, and I pretty much like that too. Though there are a few movies that I have sprinkled in that I have seen before, but I haven't seen in such a long time, like 30 years. It's like seeing it all over again. Anthony is here. How are you, buddy? You didn't go to the library today. Well, you have to go next week. Deals are happening. So some of the movies, like I said, I've watched. Some I've watched sooner than that. I've covered Grown Ups. I generally watch Grown Ups about once a year. But there's some movies that I haven't watched, I haven't seen for like 30 years, like Hidalgo or The Untouchables or something like that. But most of the time, it's also movies that I have not seen before. Uh, whew, they do their show. Um, they do their show like a miniature deep dive. It's 30, 35 minutes long, and it is entertaining as hell. I tell you, they watch some of the fun movies. Um, I'm looking at my list because they're going to show us some of their favorite movies, and I'm going to show you some of the movies I'm going to be watching. Like it's the other side of the coin. I got to tell you, I'm looking at my stack here, and it's like I'm pretty happy with it. But I have to admit, I think maybe I've gotten slightly a little. I wouldn't say heavy per se, but I've forgotten a little bit of my roots. Um, I want to go back to that. So, and it's funny because I think I am going to be doing that because the very last film on the bottom here, it's screaming Dollar Theater. But that's going to be there. It's going to be not going to get there for a while because we got a lot of films to go to before then. And also, I also like doing black and white films as well. So it's going to take a little time for me to get to where I want to just come back and do a lot more fun, a lot more fun. Um, and yes, that probably will include doing a Dead Sea review. Yes, I have a copy of Dead Sea. I've also talked to the director of Dead Sea. He wants nothing to do with that movie. Let me tell you. Uh, he's a very open-minded guy, very sharp, very one of the smartest guys I know, one of the nicest guys I know, super nice. But on the show, but man, I think if you mention, hey, can we talk about Dead Sea? I think you'd be counting the lights. So we're not gonna, but we're gonna talk to Joel and Laura about it though, because that has become their flagship movie for their series. And their series is called uh, uh, Dollar Store Drive-In, Dollar Store Drive-In, and they, as today, they have done 130 130 reviews. Now, some of them you can catch their reviews because they put them out fresh on Tingler Television. I'll put that down in the description box. You can go there to catch their latest. Or if you're like me, you head over to their channel because they need the views. You head over to their channel and then you watch the playlist. They have a playlist there. I think they're on the 50th film there. that they've done. It's their archives. So you can go over there and catch up with what they've been doing. If you want to see what they've been doing that particular week, you go to tingler.tv.com and you can see, or on YouTube anyway, and see what they've done. They also have a website, which I put in the chat. You guys can go over there and click that button. It'll take you to the or go to the top of the screen and see and click the link to take it to their channel. So yeah. So we had a really fun time this afternoon. We did a pop-up, and that was a lot of fun and very enlightening. Very enlightening. We had some action and adventure. We had a troll. We had two trolls. I think two or three trolls. One of them came back and left a comment. Thank you for the comment. It was awesome. I'll take it. That was fun. It's unusual but fun. So yeah, it's been. And I want to give a shout out to a young lady because I did an interview yesterday with Kimberly, of course, and it was a really fun interview, and I really am thankful because I have done this over and over and over again, whereas I have asked for feedback on my interview style. Am I doing it good? There's a girl named Jen that says here that came by here and said that, hey, there's some things you work on. I haven't seen her in a while. The lady's name is Debbie Fitz. And Debbie, I'm going to take this moment from here to say thank you. Thank you for your positive feedback. I need to hear it. I don't hear it enough. And you wrote to Kimber and you commented that you sort of wish that I had let her talk more. I'm working on that. I know sometimes I tend to over talk, and I appreciate the fact that you said this because it reminds me to try to slow down. The only thing I can tell you is that sometimes when the conversation, when an interview turns into a conversation, it becomes one of friends, and sometimes you forget that there's people watching because you're so concentrated on just the person you're talking to. It's not an excuse. I could do better, and I will do better. But I'm just grateful that you commented on that to let me know that, hey, and Kimber, I'm very sorry about messing up about your passion project, and I'm definitely going to make that up to you. When you're ready to talk about that movie 100%, like if it gets post-production or whatever, you can come back and we're going to talk about the invasion of the space vixens for sure. I'm sorry about that, and like I said, I will do better. And again, Debbie, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And if you're ever in the live room, if you're ever in the live chat and you're sitting there and I'm running my mouth, feel free to sit there and say stop sign in the chat, and I'll do that. So I appreciate it. I really do. I wish my friends would do the same for me because it's the only way I could ever improve myself. If I don't know, I won't know what to do if I don't hear what I'm doing. All right. Let me break out the calendar and we'll talk a little bit about the calendar. Hey, what's going on, Dell? All right. Dell is in the house. Yeah, we're interviewing Laura and Joel, the Newlydeads. They're going to be here shortly. Let me tell you what's coming up on the calendar. This is the last show of the week right here. So we are off, but we'll be back here on October 6th with Brooke Tantric. Transfer. She'll be here on the 6th. On the 7th, we have Allison Rothwell will be here. On the 8th, we have Debbie Markowitz will be here. It will be at 8 o'clock. On Thursday, the 9th, we're heading over to the pond for a doubleheader. We will be talking to Catherine Shannon at 3 o'clock. and then we're going to come back here and talk to Iowa filmmakers Chase Stein and Bill Bales. Let's see. Hi, Sarah. How are you? She has 10,000 subscribers. Oh, 1,000 subscribers. Okay. I was going to say 10,000. Holy cow, you've been busy. But congratulations on reaching 1,000. That is a mighty mark. And so thank you for that, for coming by and letting us know that you hit your target. Onward to 1,500, right? And then on the 11th, we're doing 1 to 2 watch parties. We're doing one watch party on the 11th, which is Christy, with Ashley Green and Haley Bennett. That will be on the 11th. And then on the 25th, we'll be watching The Little Mermaid. And when I say Little Mermaid, it ain't Disney Little Mermaid. That's for Skippy. And plus, this is a little twist of the mermaid story. There might be a little bit of Lovecraft thrown into there. The Wonder Twins are here. Greetings, greetings. Hail to the twins. Jason's here. Ginja Ninja. Greetings. Glad you guys are here. Our guests will be here soon enough. Yes, this is going to be a lot of fun. Let's see, what else do we got to tell you about? The 14th, we have Nikki Goodchild will be here. And on the 15th, we have Jacqueline Posey Hilton. She's got a brand new short film pilot called London and Bridges, which you can actually see on Tubi. It is entertaining as hell. Looking forward to talking to this dynamic film creator. I think her series would be really, really. If someone wanted to pick it up, I think it could go somewhere. It's very funny. It's very funny. I enjoyed watching it quite a bit. And then what else do we got? On the 16th, we have Marilyn Adams. She'll be here at 8 o'clock. And then we're back Monday. We're welcoming back our friend Matthew Kenner will be here. We last talked to him for Sweet Killing Machines. He's got a new movie out with a brand new actress making her film debut in a very powerful drama called Diary of an Accomplice. I watched it, blown away by this young lady's. Her name's Sheena Washington. Blown away by her very first acting credit, and she walked into a bear trap. I'm telling you, as far as an actor goes, yeah, she got a lot of weight put on her shoulders, and she carried it off. All right. Whoa, we have a surprise. Let's get to it. There he is. It's none other than Mr. Dan himself.
Surprise!
Ta-da!
Surprise.
All right, yeah.
I've got my Clark Kent glasses tonight.
Yeah, or Captain Amazing. That's Billionaire Lance Hunt. That's not, because Captain Amazing doesn't have glasses, and Billionaire Lance Hunt has glasses. Oh my God! How are you doing today, Dan?
Doing well. I'm so glad I happened to pop in this afternoon. I was kind of busy, actually. To be honest, the granddaughters just left like 10 minutes ago. It was pretty much chaos for much of the day. But I'm glad you invited me on.
Isn't that part of being a grandparent, though?
Oh yeah.
You get to, but the good thing is that you deal with them until it's time for them to go home, or you go home, and then you can just, my grandmother said that she used to give us grandkids a lot of sugar, right? So we get a lot of candy and stuff. She later on admitted that she did that to leave us all hyper, so that my mom would have to have a handful, because she said, because that was what you were like when you were little and you were a handful. Right. I just wanted you to see what it was like. Of course, everybody knows Mr. Dan, master of the martial art film review. Yes. And though this summer, it was a quiet summer on the race circuit, I understand that you had to take summer off because to settle the beef down all the way, to calm it down.
Well, we got a new the beef might flare up again because we got a new participant here.
What you got?
A Yeti figure.
Oh.
So he.
Oh my God! It just caused me to laugh so hard I threw off my calendar. All right, the doorbell has rang, so that must be time. It's Laura and Joel, and it is.
Hello.
Hello.
Ta-da!
How you guys doing?
Good.
Good.
Surprise.
Hey, Mr. Dan, what's up?
How about that? How about that? For I told you it's gonna be an all-timer tonight. So Mr. Dan agreed to come in and co-host. I actually got into your channel because I really got into it because I noticed that Dan had commented and said okay, and then I noticed that he started commenting on all your videos, so I started watching, and man, it's so much fun. I'm so glad you guys are here.
Well, thanks for inviting us, and thanks to Mr. Dan for showing.
Oh, yeah.
Sure, no problem.
Mr.
It's
Dan,
your month. I mean, this is your month, so I know you guys are excited. Yeah.
Mr. Dan is the great like communicator. He like gets everybody
Connector.
together. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Thanks.
right.
I do like to do that. That is fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
It's appreciated.
I agree. And our chat is here, and they're already saying hi to everybody. And the twins have mentioned they're saying that spooky season is the best month. It is. It is. Especially if you do, especially if you're doing dollar store drive-in,
Yes.
and you have a ton of movies to talk about. Yeah.
No
So
Never ending.
I was watching all the way up to the time I had to come up. I was sitting there watching that, and you were talking about Tom Joleffe. I was sitting there going like, "Oh my gosh, he's been on the show." And then Dead Sea, and we're like, "Yeah, Brandon's been on the show." And I'm going, and then Corin Nemec, and we're like, "Yeah, Corin's been hanging out here with us." I was just like, "But you guys had so much fun with them."
Yeah. It's a blast.
Yep. It's a labor of love.
Now, I guess the real question is how did you guys come together? Being obviously we have to, and as far as a couple, did you guys meet over a movie?
Not really. We met on an app. So we've only been together for, it'll be 7 years this year in November. This is both of our second marriages. So we were on OkCupid, and I am who I am, right? So I put that I love Halloween, like all of the things spooky, and he happened to have almost an identical profile. So he said he liked Halloween, he liked vintage toy shopping and movies and games and all sorts of things. So that's how we met, and then we bonded with movies and stuff. So it just grew from there.
The first time we met, we both had the same feeling that this was it. And here we are now.
He brought, to our first date, I brought him donuts from the apple orchard here, which is like, all fall, all Halloween stuff. And then he brought me the David S. Pumpkins pop toy. So I was like, well, this is the right guy for me.
Oh my gosh. What's funny is that every year I keep waiting for them to bring that back.
Yeah.
I do. Every time it gets to be close on Saturday Night Live, I keep on thinking they're going to sneak in Tom Hanks in a skit, but it never happens.
That would be awesome. Yeah, we that's like our tradition now. We watch David S. Pumpkins and
we watch the animated special every year, and that's my kids, the Great Charlie Brown. That's their version of that.
Right.
So
right. Mr. Dan, how did you find Joel and Laura?
I think just maybe through some mutual YouTubers. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. and you know, I might not even really be in contact with the person that sort of introduced us. I don't think. Yeah, because that individual he was interviewing a number of people. He interviewed me at one point, and Dr. Gangrene, and you know, a bunch of people, and then we started to communicate in comments, and then eventually we did a couple of collaborations. We watched The Monster That Challenged the World, and then we discussed that.
Mm-hmm.
That was a lot of fun because Joel and I both really think that's like a B movie. It's really kind of like an A movie. You know, it's really like underrated. It was really good. And then we did almost on a whim, like I think it was like Monday, and we said, hey, we should discuss White Buffalo with Charles Bronson. And like a couple days later, we were talking about it, and you know, the whole time I kept saying to Laura, so you've never seen Death Wish? Like I just couldn't get it through my head that she hadn't seen the Charles Bronson movie. It was pretty funny.
I lived under a rock.
But hey, White Buffalo,
Well,
It was great.
Yeah,
that happens. Once in a while, I'll bring out a movie and I'll sit there and say it's my first time watching it, and I get that too. You know, I'm sure all of us have gotten that where it's like, yeah, I haven't seen that movie, and it's like that movie's like 35 years old, and you haven't seen it not once.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
yeah,
it's like people are stunned by that. I think they're more stunned. I think they're more stunned when you do that than if you sit there and say, hey, have you seen The Monkey? No. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Yeah, because it's new and everything. Yeah, Jim got me a couple months ago. We were talking about, I think it was Jack Nicholson's stream we were talking about The Departed, and then we mentioned Infernal Affairs, the Hong Kong movie it's based on. And I was like, I haven't seen it. And he was like, you haven't seen that movie? And I was like, shame. So I had to go. I watched it like immediately, and then I even watched like the sequel, you know. But that was it was just like hanging out there. Like, why haven't I seen that? You know, there's not many of those left either.
Right.
I don't know. For you guys, for Joel and Laura, I mean, there really can't be any like major big ones that you haven't seen, right? I mean,
I'm sure there's a bunch that I haven't. I'm sure he's seen a lot.
I mean, and there's stuff that we just don't have time for because, you know, we're so focused on, you know, making sure we get the dollar store drive-in stuff in. And so, I mean, there's a never ending list and we keep adding more to it. So,
oh God,
it's never gonna be complete, you know?
No. Especially when because I used to do dollar store. What day of the week was that, Patrick? We used to do that
Mondays.
Yeah, we used to do like a dollar store thing. Hobbs, horror, and a lot of people, you know, that was when I was actively like just getting like, you know, 5-10 movies at a time from Dollar Tree when they had movies. And you know, after a while you realize like, man, I gotta go watch some good, you know, not that some of them weren't good. I mean, I found some real gems, but some classic movies that I haven't seen, or, you know, because like even Jim today, he mentioned he had a video about ghost movies. So he mentioned The Changeling and Poltergeist. And The Entity. The Entity is a big one that I've never seen.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that. Right? That's not one that we've watched together.
No,
yeah.
I've seen it. But...
Yep.
I'll tell you what, though, the best movie of that bunch, though, was The Changeling.
Oh, it's a great
movie.
That's a superb movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's
so
actually,
good. So good, I bought it twice by mistake. But
maybe it was a sequel. Yeah, it's a spiritual sequel.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen that one until about a year ago, and then Laura and I watched it together when Vinegar Syndrome did a release of it, and it blew me away. It was so good. Yeah,
I think I even tried to buy. They had a red ball with the name of the movie on it, and I ordered it because they like reduced it down, but they made some kind of mistake and it wasn't available. I was like,
yeah. Now I have to bring in. He's in the chat, but I would be totally remiss if I didn't mention him and point him out there as a fellow, as a budget baller, Professor Macabro. He also is in our little camp here. He watches movies and he hunts for movies for less than $5 as well. I like your limit. You don't watch anything more than $5,
nope.
And I think that gives you a lot. You know, it lets you have so so much possibilities.
Yes.
But before I go into that a little bit more, but I do want to know is how did you guys come across the format for Dollar Store Drive-In?
Well, for Valentine's Day, a few years ago, we set a limit. We're like, we're not spending more than $10 on whatever we get each other. And so Laura was at the Dollar Tree, and she's like, she was looking around and she saw the movies, and she's like, oh, I'm gonna get him 5 horror, sci-fi, whatever DVDs, and a box of Twinkies, and then a card. And so she gave it to me, and I was happy, of course. And we're looking at him and we're like, we should maybe do a review, because we've been kicking around the idea of doing movie reviews, but everything had kind of been done.
Yeah.
So we didn't really have a good angle.
We were doing snack videos, and so we were like, we wanted to do something different, and so.
And everybody kept saying, why don't you guys talk about movies? So we're like, okay, we got these movies. And then she came up with the kind of the rules for it. And
because you need a structure, you
Right.
can't just be like willy-nilly all the time.
And it just kind of went from there. And that was our first episode was Soul Reaper back in May of 2022.
I got
and
that.
We had 8 episodes on YouTube, and then we got picked up on the networks, and then kind of reset the clock for us. And here we are 130 episodes later. Well, 138 total.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Soul Reaper. I remember that one. I got that one. Mr. Dan, do you have your Dollar Tree in a playlist?
I think I did make a couple playlists, for Dollar Tree Theater. I haven't paid much attention to making playlists lately, but I need to go back and do that. I definitely have some for my martial arts movies, and some of my more narrow topics, like Japanese crime movies or things like that. But I think I do. And by the way, I was telling Joel and Laura, I keep meaning to catch their Wednesday night show. And I did catch most of it last night. I actually went to Vortex. It was Chupacabra versus the Alamo, which I reviewed with the great Eric Estrada. And but the funniest thing happened, like they were playing the movie The Mask, which I've never seen. And to be honest, it was hard for me to focus. I kind of wish I had 3D glasses, because it was parts of it were in 3D. It would have made it a little better. And then I may have nodded off for a second, and then your show started. But then a minute later, the movie was back on, and I was like, did I move the cursor?
Weird.
Did I do something? And I thought to myself, the movie ended suddenly. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I still don't know what happened, but I think I caught most of your episode. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Mr. Dan, we have a question for you, sir. Dale wants to know some of your favorite martial arts films.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, any, I love all the Bruce Lee movies. I've reviewed them and ranked them. And then for Jet Li, I like Fist of Legend, Fearless, Donnie Yen, Ip Man, all those movies. And then Shaw Brothers, like 36 Chamber, Shaolin. And there's so many good ones, like unusual ones, 18 Bronze. No, that's not unusual. 18 Bronzeman. That's even things like, that is a great one. There's so many good ones. Blood Brothers is a great one. If you want to show someone a martial arts movie who's like, I don't know if I like martial arts, and just show them a good movie that has a great story that could take place in the mafia or the Yakuza or politics or whatever. Blood Brothers is a great one.
Blood Brothers.
The movie, the one I know this this is how I feel. But I mean, I love Bruce Lee too. I mean, loved everything he did, but I gotta tell you, once I watched Fist of Legend, man, and then he did the modern one, Counterpoint. I think it was, or something like that. And he did 2 movies I watched back to back, and Jet Li is the man.
Yeah,
Jet Li's the man. Donnie Yen is right there. Donnie Yen is the one I was thinking about with the modern police one.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But
Fist of Legend, man,
that's a heck of a movie.
That's my favorite martial art movie now.
Yeah, I gave my son a choice. I said, "Hey, let's have a movie night." And I said, "Do you want to watch another horror movie, or do you want to watch just the random?" I just pulled that one out. He's like, "Let's watch that one instead." and we watched it. At the end of it, he just looked at me. He was like, "Man, that was a good movie." He's just not, I haven't really had him watch too many martial arts movies either, but it really is. It's just such a freaking good movie,
when I was growing up, ninjas were the thing, and so Shokasugi always falls into my top 5.
Yeah,
just because that's kind of a jumping off point for his film. So
he was everywhere in the 80s, and the thing about him is like he was so committed to it.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in the series The Master. He's just
right.
And the Ninja trilogy. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You got Ninja 3 with Lucinda Dickey. Come on.
Yeah. Okay, so all right.
But you have not
seen it.
You have not seen anything martial arts until you've experienced The Master. Man, that is that the cheesiest thing, a martial arts thing you've ever seen, Dan? Has that been the cheesiest one?
I mean, it's pretty cheesy. I mean, I could, I love Lee Van Cleef. But I even remember watching that with my dad because there was a ninja show coming on TV when I was a kid. Like, what was I not going to watch that? And when all of a sudden Lee Van Cleef pulls off the ninja mask and he's like going to be like the master, my dad was like, Lee Van Cleef? Like, yeah. But like I love, they're supposed to be so unbeatable, and yet they have all these clashes where it's like, I'll fight you another day,
right. It's weird because you guys do horror, you do thrillers, so I guess martial arts can come underneath thrillers. Yeah. Have you guys done any martial art reviews? Any action movie reviews?
Action ones, kind of. Yeah. Like it's horror, thriller, or sci-fi. So sometimes sci-fi kind of like toes the line. I think sometimes between
it can, yeah.
Action.
I mean, we've done some stuff that's kind of borderline, almost romantic. And I know this year we haven't talked about this yet, but this year for Christmas we're doing the horrors of Christmas, and instead of doing Christmas horror movies, we're watching Hallmark Channel movies.
Hold my beer. Yeah, I was gonna say hold my beer because that's not unheard of here. we're Hallmark. We watch some Hallmarks.
Oh, I love it.
Well, after we sat through Hot Frosty, I'm like, hey, I got an idea this year for our Christmas episodes.
Yep.
And so those are cute.
But you can play bingo. You can play bingo to Hallmark movies.
For sure.
Saving the Christmas festival. Okay, yep. Hot chocolate. Click. Cookies. Yep. Bake some cookies. Bingo.
Celebrity chef making a guest appearance.
Yeah.
Right.
That's double points.
Yeah, that would be wow. Are you going to be doing that for separately from Dollar Store, or are you going to include that in the Dollar Store?
That's going to be our Dollar Store.
That's our kind of our fun this year,
Yeah.
That's going to be fun. I will if you guys now, how many times do you record a week? Do you record one movie, one review a week?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And then it takes him several hours to edit that episode, and then he sends it off usually Sunday night, right?
Wednesday.
Oh, on Wednesday.
I send it Wednesday because the way that I've got it set up with the networks, if I send it before then, they'll cycle it into that week.
Right.
So I send it on Wednesday, and then it cycles into the next Wednesday. So, but sometimes we'll record a little bit in advance, and so I'll have them ready so we don't have to But since we do other videos on our channels and we have other stuff that we do, it's kind of worked out just to do one episode a week with our schedule.
Yeah, you guys do have other series. You mentioned before you have Sinister Snacks, which is so tell us now that actually was first before Dollar Store Drive-In.
Yeah, it's because we were on our mini moon, right? I think our honeymoon.
We got married twice because we got married during COVID.
Yeah.
And so we couldn't go on our actual honeymoon, so we had to go on just like day trips.
Yeah.
And we both love potato chips. Like that's something that we have an issue with.
An addiction.
Yeah. And so we used to have chip parties, and we would just sit with like 5 bags of chips and just eat them while we're watching movies. That's not a good thing, by the way. I don't recommend that.
No.
But we would always look for funky chips. So we're like, well, let's maybe start reviewing chips. And then it kind of turned into, what's the weirdest thing we could find. And
we found those cheesy mealworms or something
Yeah,
like that.
the larvettes. That was the weirdest one we've done so far, and that was on our mini moon. And
Yeah, it was disgusting.
that's
Yeah, I was
yeah,
gonna
not
say
happening again.
that sounds sort of like a dollar store movie right there.
Larvette.
Right?
Dead larva.
Yes, it was
Just-
so
just-
gross.
Starring Eric Roberts.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay. I guess that could be a good question. What movie? How many movies have you reviewed with Eric Roberts in it?
Oh,
Oh, I don't know that we've had any actually yet. To be honest, I can't think of any that had Eric Roberts in it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think I only had like a couple. I've had a few, but I think I've only done just a couple.
As much as he's out there, it's kind of surprising. But a lot of those ones at Dollar Tree, they tended to be, kind of the low budget stuff that were made by, people making their first films or whatever. And so there wasn't a lot of celebrities in them.
Yeah.
But as we've started to branch out since Dollar Tree stopped selling them, we'll go to vintage stores and thrift shops and whatever and find them there. And so that window's kind of opened up a little bit more for sure. But
Yeah.
No,
we are
what
looking
other-
for
what-
Debbie Gibson films though.
Go before we go back to that. What other films do you guys review other than these fun movies right here? You mentioned you do other reviews as well. Is it similar along similar lines to Dollar Store, or are these more serious reviews?
I mean, I write a blog post. I try to do it once a week, but sometimes that doesn't happen. And that's either stuff that we've watched that's the Dollar Tree stuff, or it's stuff that we watch on our own. So it's kind of a little bit of everything, but it's just kind of whatever I feel like I want to actually spend a deeper dive into. And those are on our website.
Yeah.
Right. The website is upstairs on the chat. If you guys want to go over there and click on that, you can go ahead and check out their Laura and Joel's home website. Mr. Dan, how do you shop for your movies?
Well, anymore. I mean, occasionally I'll if I'm in Walmart, I'll look around. I mean, it's as far as physically out there anymore. That's about it. I've heard that they have a special edition of like the WNUF Halloween special, another one I haven't seen.
Yep.
with the side movie there. So if I'm there, I might look, but it's hard for me to make special trips like that anymore. To sort of, but so just I like I don't have any problem with used movies. I was really into shopping at used sites for a while.
Yeah.
Dark Side Records, excuse me. There's
Hamilton Books.
Hamilton Books, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Hamilton Book.
Hamilton's great, yeah. Oldies.com, like MVD and Oldies, they're kind of affiliated. I actually forgot I ordered some stuff from MVD, and then all of a sudden, like a month later, because something was on pre-order, and all of a sudden an Oldies.com box came, and I was just like, what is this going to be? Like, I forgot that I.
That sounds like Joel. He's always like, I don't remember what I pre-ordered.
Yeah. Right. Well, they held it up. They held up the whole order of like 4 movies for the pre-order one, which I thought was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that is
So
weird.
that's why I forgot.
Well, yeah, TerrorVision, they released both WNUF Halloween special and the Way Out There special separately, which I have those independently. But yeah, they just announced they have released a twofer. So
Yeah.
if you haven't seen them, I just introduced those to Laura
Yeah,
this
they're
year
good. Mm-hmm.
because I'm a fan.
Yeah. They're
Yeah.
fun.
That's what I've heard. I've heard they're good. Yeah. TerrorVision, that's a label Joel and I both like. Joel kind of got me into TerrorVision. They had a really they've got some really good things. They had a really obscure Bruceploitation movie, Enter the Panther. It's one of the really like the first Bruceploitation movies. And the print that they only had one print to work with, and it wasn't great, but it was really, it was kind of like more for like diehard fans only, but they did as good a job as they could with it. So that's a great label.
Yeah, I'm currently waiting on my pre-orders for the Nailgun Massacre, the Gatorbait twofer, and the special edition of Sledgehammer, because everybody needs a shot-on-video classic in a giant collector's set of fun things. Well, I need that. I don't know about everybody, but
Yeah, Joel's a big shot on video fan, which it's fascinating because that's a whole like world.
Oh, it is.
Right.
in and of itself. Yeah.
The whole vibe.
It is.
See, the Wonder Twins. I'm gonna catch up with the chat here. Got some martial art comments here. The professor says, "Did clones of Bruce Lee ever get a good DVD release?"
Yeah, it came out on the Enter the Clones.
Yeah.
The Game of Clones. It came
Yeah,
out on the Game of Clones box set from Severin. So it's most they did a really good job cleaning these up as best they could, and most of them look really good.
Yeah, it's a great box set, and I heard rumors that the second one is coming, and I think we're gonna get the one with Elvis and Popeye and everything. I think that one is going to be on the next one. I can't remember the name of it right now.
Okay, yeah,
but that's a weirdie that I've been waiting to see.
That's a weirdie, and you know what? I didn't put two and two together. But that one's actually like, I mean, Bruce Lee has this like legacy, this aura about him, right? Mm-hmm. That one's a little like mean. I mean, you know, he's on the his body's on the table and he's aroused. I mean, and they it's like, well, that's a Shaw Brothers movie, and the theory is they were still kind of bitter that he did not agree to their terms and he went to Golden Harvest instead. So that's why it was a little meaner. Yeah.
Dal mentions that Enter the Dragon is this all-time favorite, but all the other ones you named are awesome. Yeah, I used to love all those too. I still do, but man, once I saw Fist of Legend, man, I was just like, yeah, I'm here. This is the shit right here.
Of course, that's kind of inspired by Bruce
Fist of Fury.
Fist of Fury, thank you. Yeah. The alternate titles get me sometimes. Yeah.
But it's so, you know, it's like when we talk about remakes, you know, like you have the original, then you have the superior, like, you know, like Dawn of the Dead or True Grit or something like that, and then the remake comes out and it's just so much better than the original. Yeah. And that's what happened. You know, it's no big shame. I mean, Bruce is immortal, but I mean, after a while, there's going to be somebody going to do something better. Yeah, and so much, at least for Fist. Go ahead.
Yeah, so cinematic. You know, it was so much more cinematic. You know,
so
yeah.
Now, how do you two shop for your movies, for your series for Dollar Store Drive-In? Because Dollar Tree doesn't sell movies anymore.
They sure don't.
That's off the table. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, we get them several different ways.
Yeah. We had a relationship with a distributor for a while, and so they provided us with some stuff, and then we've had stuff directly from filmmakers, but primarily record stores, antique shops, vintage places, Goodwill. Anytime we're out where there's potentially going to be movies lingering, and you know, if we're at like a big box store, you know, and they've got the budget stuff, sometimes we'll look there and we'll get lucky and we'll find something.
I had a coworker that totally did not, she's like a curveball, that she loves horror, and so she's like, I've got all these like crazy obscure movies, and I was like, oh, and she's like, do you want them? And I'm like, yes, I do. So she gave us like the Killer Couch, right? Didn't she give us that one or something, or the Killer Sofa? Killer Sofa.
But yeah. I mean, if you looked at the stack of movies and you knew this person that we're talking about, we were like,
no,
get out of our head.
Yeah,
know? Like, what the heck, man?
She's one of us.
She is one of us. Yeah.
I heard you mention. I'm not sure if you covered it, but I'm sure you probably have. Have you guys covered Attack of the Killer Donuts?
We watched it with my kid who loved it, but we did not do it for the show.
No,
it was streaming, and we kind of are on the fence about the streaming thing.
We do it on occasion. Yeah,
like our Halloween stuff that's going to be coming starting next week.
Yeah.
Or the week after next, we went to Tubi, and we decided to do a month of Tubi Halloween related films.
Yeah,
that we've never seen, of course. So
I got one on my list that was a streamer too, but I had to put it in there because that movie was badass.
Yeah,
I kept it. I'm like, man, I wish I could get a copy of the DVD for this. Yeah, but I couldn't get one, but I kept it on the list because it was just so kick ass.
Yeah.
So so it's underneath $5 or less. So that takes more. You know, it's harder to hunt that way. Like I it's funny when I hear people talk about I'm going movie hunting, and you know, back when there were movies at the stores, I'm going movie hunting, and their idea of movie hunting was driving to Best Buy or to Walmart. You know, and it's like, that's not hunting, kids. That's just going to pick up a movie. Hunting is going to your local library and sitting your ass down for an hour and a half, waiting to see what's coming through the other side.
Yes.
And then drive the Salvation Army after that and cross your fingers that at least you can find one movie out of it.
Yes. Yeah. It's part of the fun, though. You know, like I think that's what I enjoy. I mean, I enjoyed the whole experience, but you know, I like going places with him and, you know, doing that kind of stuff. And I don't know, it's just fun.
It's like, you know, we like to go record shopping together. So when we're out there at the record store, you know, they have movies, and like I found your Hunter from the Future, Warrior from the Future, whatever. I can't think of the Red Brown, I think it is, movie that, you know, was a brand new Blu-ray. And I'm like, all right, you know, so you just never know what you're going to find, which we do unboxing as well. That's another thing that we do on our channel.
Yeah.
Let's see. It looks like, okay, some the twins mentioned, we're talking about packaging. Delman says he got picked up the Blu-ray set of the Street Fighter movies. I think that wasn't that show Kusugi did that, or Sonny Chiba?
No, Sonny Chiba.
Yeah, they have that and the sister Street Fighter set as well. They're both great.
Yeah. I made the mistake of getting like the sort of the budget DVDs. I have no problem with DVDs. I love DVDs, but I didn't really know. I got all of the Street Fighter movies before I realized that the quality on those was, So so for the sister Street Fighter set, I got the really good set. So yeah.
Let's see. One of the twins say, yes, we do a combination for movies: buy, new, thrift, boutique, etc. Yeah, I can't do boutique. Do you ever just watch some of these folks? I mentioned this earlier this afternoon. It's funny watching certain, you know, like collectors out there, and we're all cinephiles, right? We're all here because we all love movies. But it's so interesting to see someone sit there at a severance sale, or and then you know, they're waiting for that $45 or $50. I couldn't believe when I saw one of these boutiques was selling Roadhouse for $60.
Wow.
$60.
That's crazy.
And people were buying it, and we're like, I just picked up my copy at the Dollar Tree for $1.20.
Are you that person?
Not Roadhouse, no, but I have a Vinegar Syndrome subscription.
Yep.
And I, you know, TerraVision, SRS, Severin, all those sites I do shop regularly, and so I've been known to, but you know, I have a limit as far as what I'll pay. And unless it's something that's like a really nice set for something that I absolutely love, I'll wait for a sale, or I'll, you know, but the subscription keeps it pretty reasonable, you know.
And that's, you're not 100% sure of everything you're getting, right? Is that true?
For that, no, it's you get at least 3 movies a month. I'm getting 4 this month.
It's like a blind box.
But I do blind buys primarily anymore. I'll still buy stuff I've already seen that I like, you know, the big budget stuff that is out there, but I like the thrill of the hunt, and that's part of it for me. And I love the behind the scenes stuff. So even if it's something I don't like, I like to learn about it. Just being somebody who's a lifelong learner, for me, that's just as enjoyable as the movie sometimes, or even more so.
Oh, I love that.
So
I love director's commentaries. That's one good thing. I'll have to sit there and say what makes Criterion. That was going to be my next question to you both: is what's your favorite studio or boutique? I mean, I don't know if anybody knows what mine is. If you know what mine is, just drop it in the comments. But what's your favorite? Is it Criterion? Is it Vinegar Syndrome? What's your favorite house that you like to get, you know, your films from, your boutique stuff from?
For me, I mean, it's probably is going to be Vinegar Syndrome. Just, you know, not only just because I have a subscription, but they do such a great job with everything that you know, it's always a pretty safe bet for me in terms of what I like. But with that being said, since I love shot on video, Terror Vision has been one that I really enjoyed. But if just overall, Powerhouse or Indicator just releases like a really broad spectrum of stuff, and everything they do is just amazingly well done.
Are those American companies, or are they European? It seems like most of these places are European, right? Like Arrow and whatnot. Or are these all American companies that you're talking about?
All of those are American except Powerhouse. They're a UK label like Arrow. And I got an all region player, so it's kind of opened up my world as far as finding things. But they have stuff that's region A, and they just did a set of Todd Slaughter movies, which had never seen any of his stuff, and now I'm like a fan. And it's just this kind of weird little niche thing that I wouldn't have known about. But he was big overseas. He was kind of the English version of Boris Karloff, So, but yeah, they just do an amazing job with that stuff. Do you?
He's the guy that buys all the things. So I don't know. I just watch.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see. The Wonder Twins guessed it. That's what I love about the twins. That's right. ISC is mine. There's the twins mentioned a Criterion, Arrow, and Second Sight. Yeah, Second Sight's good. I love it once in a while. Where the place I shop at most, which is my local library, once in a while, like once a year, they'll do a slight purge of their Criterion, and they'll drop like 10 or 12 off. And I picked them up for $1 a piece.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh,
yes.
Save my bacon. Let's see. We also have a few for Vinegar Syndrome as well. Yeah, I would actually sit there and say that I would say among the boutiques that I've gotten, probably Kino Lorber is probably the one that surprises me most. I see that probably more than anything else as far as boutique goes. And then afterwards, honestly, it is Criterion. I don't get any Arrows or anything like that. I rarely get any IFCs there anymore. I always am hoping though. But most of the time, it's Criterions from private donations.
Mm-hmm. Kino's great to fill out your collection. I haven't gotten into like any of their 4Ks or anything. I don't know how it compares to anything, but as far as like waiting for a sale and just picking up like Charles Bronson, I think I have 11. I have more than 11 movies, but I've got 11, single movies or compilation of Charles Bronson movies. And I think like 6 out of 11 are from Kino. And, Jeff from 101 Bronson. I couldn't remember the name. What was his name? Patrick and I know this guy in the Netherlands.
Cynthia Rothrock's guardian.
Yeah, Cynthia Rothrock's guardian. He just met Cynthia Rothrock this last weekend, but
wow.
He he's from the Netherlands, so he kind of got me into his more European movies, which weren't really on TV, or they're not as well commonly known here in the States. And Kino had a bunch of those. And then since he like co-starred with Alain Delon in those, I started to get into Alain Delon movies independently. So, for like $9.99 or less, I mean, Kino is kind of like my budget. I'm not calling them a budget label, but I mean, that's for cheaper movies, that's my go-to label, I guess. And then for the boutique, I'd probably go with Arrow just because of the work they've done with the Shawscope volumes and the martial arts,
Well, Kino's come a long way from where they're at. Like, they were one of my least favorites, but now they've really been up in their game. And they're actually, they just announced they're doing the full 5 Death Wish set with all 5 films that are coming out, which I've been hoping for, because Crackdown, you couldn't get it. Like, or was that part 5? Yeah, no, that was part 3. The part 5 was hard to find on Blu-ray, and now they're going to have them all together finally. So
which one is the one where he's in the slum in New York?
That's part 3. That's Crackdown. Yeah.
Oh my God, that is
the Giggler, right?
My God, every time I see that on TV, I instantly head to the kitchen to grab a couple of slices of bread, because you're gonna have a cheese sandwich with that one. That was. They said that they would have a limousine on set for Charles Bronson, and in between they would they drive him back to his trailer. I mean, his trailer could be 20 yards down the road, but they would roll up this big car, get him in it, and take him 20 yards down to his trailer and back. And that movie, I like Charles Bronson, but I think by that time I thought he was pretty much on an autopilot, pretty much since his wife passed.
I don't know. After I saw Assassination, that one was one of those where I felt like it went a little too far, but it was fun because he's on the back of or he's riding a motorcycle and he fires a rocket launcher to take down a helicopter, and I'm like, and Jill Ireland is on the back, So.
Yeah. So okay. So how did you guys decide, which movie first to watch for? I mean, is there a method? Is there a method to your madness? Because I have so many of these. I do 2 a week. One, I let people pick what we watch, and then on Monday I pick the one. But on Friday they get to vote on which movie I review. Because I have so many of them. But what about you guys? How do you guys decide which movie that you're gonna? And I want to hear what Dan's methodology was too. How did you pick which movie for you to watch for a dollar store?
Sure. Well, we've got the first 5 that we had, and then we were like, well, which one should we watch first? I don't know. And so we had a random wheel, like a spinny wheel. So we used to spin this little spinny wheel, and it was like a little short reel that we would do, and we would upload it, and so that's how it started. But it's hard to do that every week, so now he does a random number generator, so he's got them all in a big lineup, and it's like 1 through 30 or whatever, and he says pick a random number between 1 and 30, and usually Google will do that for us.
Yeah.
He does it 3 times though, so it's like really random generator.
Yeah. It's always the third number, and we just we shift because we have the big drawer of fun, and so we'll flip through it and we'll move them around, and so it's always truly a randomization. That's how we keep it kind of fresh for us.
Yeah.
How about you, Mr. Dan? How did you when you were doing dollar theater? How did you pick the movie?
I mean, I was probably doing like 1 review a week, so. And I to this day, I probably have about 10 that I just never reviewed. Either I looked at it and was like, oh man, I don't know if I could do this, or something I put in and fell asleep and something like that, So I pretty much just, probably did the ones I thought were going to be pretty good first, and then the not so great ones.
So do you eat your dessert first, Mr. Dan? Is that it?
Yeah, it was like the dessert first. What was that? Oh, there was a C. Thomas Howell one. Beast something.
Oh, you just said the magic word.
Oh,
C. Thomas Howell, That is the seal of quality.
It was, they tried. I mean, but it was just, it had, not Ray Stevenson. I can't think of his name. But it had James Hong was in it for like 2 minutes. I mean, so I thought it would be good, but which ones I really almost wouldn't even pick up anymore were the sci-fi looking ones, only because you're getting a sci-fi movie from the Dollar Tree and the cover looks like it advertises all this stuff, and you're not getting anything like that.
It never does.
Not even.
It never does.
I mean on the asylum when they have 6 helicopters, and there's not gonna be anything like that in there.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh my god. The asylum was really good for that. Wild Eye on the covers, their covers are probably the best. As far as that goes. I mean, the cover looks amazing. If the movie was 1/100th as good as the cover,
I know
they'd be rich.
Yeah.
See, the professor mentions a question. It's totally a normal thing to buy different releases and formats of movies that you love. Either cause the packaging looks cool or they have their own special features, and keep all of them.
It's normal for Joel, that's for sure.
Especially if it's a glow in the dark cover, then it's okay.
Yeah.
All right? It's okay if it's glow in the dark. I'm just saying.
Now I know you guys. I know you two have certain criteria that you look for in every movie? You'll sit there and you have criteria on whether the movie's going to survive or not. Talk to us a little bit. How do you grade a movie?
Yeah. So it's out of 5, right? And then we can go as low as we want. So it's 5's the gold standard, and then anything down to billion, negative billion if we wanted to. But one of the things that I have is, if you've watched the show, I fall asleep sometimes. And so I always am forthright and, saying like, I fell asleep. It didn't keep my attention. So it always loses a point if I fall asleep. But yeah, I mean, other than that, like, what is your criteria? Like, what are you looking for?
It's a gut feeling.
Yeah.
It really is. It's just compared to whatever else I've seen that's either similar, or if it's just, it hits me a certain way,
Right.
or if it doesn't hit me a certain way.
Yeah.
It's just as we're watching it, I'm just like, okay, this feels like a whatever.
I'll write down like little key things, we take notes and stuff. So like I'll write down key, like funny phrases, or like, just weird stuff that happens, and we draw pictures and stuff. And, so it just, if I see a lot, actually for a while I was doing pros and cons of the movie. So if it was like a pro, I'd write it in the column, and then I'd kind of add things up. And yeah, it is a gut feeling though. And sometimes when we're doing the show, sometimes I even say like, you know what, I'm going to change I'd originally wanted to give it a 2, and, because of XYZ, after he was talking about stuff, I might even change my mind like at the last minute.
Yep.
How did you pick, and how did you judge, Mr. Dan?
As far as the rating the movies, or which one to watch first?
Rating the movies.
Like rating. You know what? I've never really gotten into that much. I kind of just give like a general description of the movie, and I'll say like, if you like this, then you can like this.
Yeah.
I'm always reminded of when they used to absolutely like, okay, so when my dad was still with us, like every few years, if you couldn't think of a Father's Day gift, the Leonard Maltin movie guide.
Oh.
He would just be in there for days, and it was a great movie guide. But his thing was, he had a soft spot for certain types of movies, like Roger Corman movies and stuff. And it's, how do you judge like those movies on the same scale as,
right.
You know what I mean? Like there's especially if you're our age, they're so comforting. You know what I mean? So
yes.
And they used to absolutely like rip on him on Mystery Science Theater, because he gave like Laser Blast 2.5 stars, but he gave Amadeus 2 stars. And then to his credit, he showed up one time. It was pretty funny. But my thing is, that's the way I kind of like to describe the movies. So if I'm giving a rating, I'm saying, look, and like Sean for Movie Assault's the same way, because he just reviewed like It Conquered the World the other day. And, and like, if you like a schlocky 50s movie, this is a pretty good one, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now for this month, I haven't dropped the first video yet, but I'm doing a lot of Hong Kong like horror movies. And some of them have a lot of comedy. So I'm doing like a rating for the comedy, the atmosphere / horror, the martial arts / action, and then just like the whole X Factor package.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So if you're in the mood for more of a comedy one, then like, for example, Mr. Vampire, which I reviewed last year, that's a good one. If you want one that is also funny but also has like really good horror movie atmosphere, I haven't reviewed it yet, but Encounters of the Spooky Kind with Sammo Hung is like great. So it's kind of giving people an idea of like, what, depending on what your mood is, this might be for you tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's another great movie. But you mentioned Sammo Hung. I just got to give a shout out to because this movie helped me find Wu Jing, which helped me find Wolf Warrior, which is probably my top 5. But Killzone.
Killzone's great. Yeah.
Killzone is amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Sammo's amazing. That let's see. Let's see if I can find it.
I watched this show on CBS. They spun it off from Walker, Texas Ranger. I didn't watch Walker that much. I watched it okay once in a while, but I watched Sammo Hung.
Yeah.
Martial
Oh,
law.
martial law. Oh yeah, we watched.
Yeah.
We ate that up every week, but he's still going. I mean, him and Donnie Yen are still going. This movie, Walled In, Twilight of the Warriors.
I saw it.
He's got like kind of a supporting role in this, but this movie cleaned up at the Hong Kong Movie Awards last year, just like absolutely cleaned up. And of course, they have different categories. They have like fight choreography categories, things like that. So.
Man, and Jackie's still going strong as well.
Yeah.
See, the professor mentions, like Mr. Lobo says, they are not bad movies, just misunderstood. I'm with that for the most part.
For the most part.
For the most part, I mean,
There's occasions where I'm like, please don't watch this movie.
But
now I asked our guest tonight. I wanted to do something a little bit fun, and so I asked them to bring their 10 like the worst of the worst, the ones that they just like, oh hell no. And I thought I would go ahead and give you guys like a small preview of what's coming down my pipeline by showing you a little bit of what I watch. Now, I think this will be an interesting contrast. If you want to go ahead and go first with your films, and tell us what really just stood out, other than making you fall asleep 10 times. But tell us what makes it. Well, tell them what make these movies so special. We already know your number one movie, so we'll say that one. We already know that one. But what's the other 9 going from 10 down to 1 of the movies that you guys just watched, looked at yourself, and go like, oh hell no.
Well, I'm gonna have to say I misunderstood the assignment slightly, because I've got
Your best and worst.
well, I have the best and the worst, and I ended up with 6 of the best and 6 of the worst. I thought we needed
That's
10
good.
total.
You
So
do them both.
I
You can do 'em
apologize.
both.
All right.
But for the worst, and this is maybe going to be in no particular order, but Borderline Cult, the Yuli Lamel film, it was just
She just like already started sighing.
That's not
it was
good.
just incoherent. I needed a shower after it was over.
Yeah.
There was a lot of weird cuts that the characters didn't make sense. That the storyline was just all over the place, and it felt like he had $1.50 and a piece of chewing gum, and he was making a movie. I'm like, he used to have a career. I don't know why he thought this was a good idea, but it was just so foul. I don't know.
That was bad.
Yeah, it was no good.
Who was in it?
Yuli Lamel was the director. It was he wrote and directed it. I'm not sure if he wrote it now that I think about it. There was no, as far as names, there was
No name.
no names. Yeah.
Okay.
The Mermaid's Curse was our worst film for a long time.
Really long time.
Which should have been called The Siren's Curse, because they weren't technically mermaids. But that one, once again, it was just really incoherent. A lot
slow.
of
Most of
strange
them
cuts.
are like slow moving, and like nothing is moving the plot along, and it doesn't really there's no story to it. It's just kind of scene to scene kind of thing, and it's boring.
Yeah, that one was just
that one. The Mermaids song didn't have the guy from Game of Thrones on there.
I don't remember anybody from
It was about the 4 sisters. It's set in the 30s.
No. This was
was
The Mermaid's Curse.
The Mermaid's Curse, was about a guy that was living in a condo down by the beach, and these 3 mermaids kept coming onto the beach and singing their siren songs to lure guys into their web, so to speak.
Yeah.
Killer Tattooist, which we were like, cool, we love tattoos. We love movies about killers. We're like, heck yeah, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
And again, one of those movies where you needed a shower afterwards, but it was just, I don't even remember what it was. It was so bad about it, but it was just.
It was. What I always go to is it was slow and boring. Yeah.
Yeah, the pacing was not good.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a lot of like tattooing going on.
Mm-hmm.
I think our well, I'll save that one for last. Dead Sea, which we had mentioned, you had commented on recently. Where that one where the creature sounds like a modem from 1999. And on the box, the creature is huge, like it's like giant monster, and then in the actual thing,
Right.
it's like this little like, that's like biting people's
It's like a
kneecaps.
Funko Pop.
Right. And then you hear this sound, like you're about to get a fax, and we're like, okay, you got time to get out of the water, got a fax coming.
Yeah.
That was our worst for a long
Oh
time.
yeah. Dead Sea.
Zombies Gone Wild, which I hate to mention it because it was basically shot on video.
Yeah.
But nobody was really going wild.
There was no zombies going wild, that's for sure. Yeah.
There were
It
zombies.
took forever though for the zombies to even show up.
And
Yeah.
then there was only like a couple, and they were talking, and then you get a little bit of a bunch at the end, but then people were playing multiple roles. And
Wasn't that the
God,
one
those
where
are the
when the
best.
guy smelled like poop or something?
I
I
don't
think
remember that.
and I'm like, this joke that just kept going and going and going. I'm like,
Plus the makeup, was not
yeah.
good. But our least favorite, and has remained as such since we watched it, was Lake Fear 3. Which why it was basically Lake Fear 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Um,
They reused like footage from the other
Mhm.
ones, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was
Right.
just like chunks of scenes that were all the same, like from the other movies.
there was one cool thing where the people that were possessed, like their faces kind of lit up, and you could kind of see like their interior, and their eyes were glowing, but that was like this much of the movie.
Yeah.
And they were trying to be Bruce Campbell in Evil Dead, and they just did things that didn't make sense. Like the guy is in his cabin, and they're trying to get away from the demons, and he's like, "Quick, grab my gun!" And where did he get his gun from? The oven. Because that's where you store your shotguns. is in the
That's
oven.
where I put all. That's where I put all my. That's where I put all my weaponry in the.
Yeah,
in
all
those
your extra
stuff.
shells. Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe your dynamite.
I put
your
those in
dynamite
the
in there,
coffee
too.
pot.
So we have not seen anything any worse than that, and we don't need to see 1 and 2. But if you're looking for a root canal, then you should watch Lake Fear 3, and it's about the same experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
But our best, Voodoo Apocalypse was one that I've been looking forward to.
He was so excited when it finally came up on the like random generator.
But it's it was like trying to be a 70s throwback, and it was just so super cheesy and just perfectly like pitch perfect as far as like managing the level of cheese with the level of like ineptitude. Puppet Master: The Littlest Reich, which we actually got on Blu-ray.
That one was so fun.
That was a Dollar Tree find, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I
That
got
one
that.
was shockingly fun, which we
It
like
was-
full moon
Yes.
movies, but we were expecting it to be bad, and
It was so good.
it was such a darn good time.
Yeah.
Dead Ant, which we just saw recently, we picked up at a record store. I mean, that one actually, had like Sean Astin in it, and
Was it Tom Arnold?
Tom Arnold was in it,
Yeah.
and any movie. Oh, Chauncey Phillips.
Mm.
Any big monster movie, and they weren't that big, but it was fun. It was creative. It was funny. Everybody in it
There was
was like,
boobs in it.
there was boobs, breasts, and blood. The 3 Bs. Hangman, we just watched with Jeremy Sisto,
I like Jeremy Sisto, so I was excited about that one.
and that was kind of almost a found footage
Mm-hmm.
style movie, but
It was interesting.
kind
Yeah.
of home invasion, but to a weird degree.
Yeah. Mhm.
It was very off-putting and unsettling, but really well worth it. The Night Sitter, which was technically a Christmas movie.
Yep.
Imagine Suspiria made on a budget, but set at Christmas time with somebody killing people like slasher style. We were not expecting it to be good, and it was impressive. But then the last one we got sent to us, which was Mad Heidi. Which
Okay. I've heard
Yeah,
that
that
one.
was good. That's like action.
it kind of is somewhere. If you've ever seen Kung Fury or like Hobo with a Shotgun, it's very much in that vein, where it's kind of trying to be like a grindhouse thing, but it's really over the top, and it's all about Heidi, from the the hills,
Yep.
who's killing Nazis, and you can't go wrong with that combination.
No,
Yeah.
you can't go. That sounds like a winning night for me.
It
Is
was
that the
great.
one with Casper Van Dien? Seeing that?
Yep.
Yeah.
And he is chewing the scenery like nobody's business. Like it looked like he had so much fun with that role.
Yeah.
Yep.
At this point in his career, why not? Right? You know,
Yeah.
Right?
just go for it.
Oh, Casper's done some. He's done some really interesting and some fun movies.
He
We've
does-
we've watched a few with him in it.
That's yeah, we've had a
He might
couple
be the
of these.
winner
He might be.
of the dollar
we
store
think about
drive-in. Yeah, like him and yeah, the other guy.
Corin Nemec?
Yes, Corin Nemec. Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, you guys were on him like a blanket.
Yeah.
Parker Lewis can lose. I was like, oh, yeah.
And Joni Durian. She's one that we've
Oh,
had
yeah.
a couple Joni Durian movies.
Yes.
Which anytime Joni Durian's in a movie, it
He
gives
loves
it an
it.
extra point.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can't get better than Starship Troopers if we're talking, Casper Van Dien. I mean,
Right.
come on.
No. He's done some really fun movies. He did this is actually, I tell people when I see this, but they laugh until I tell them to go watch it. But he actually did a Wild Eye movie, and I have no idea how they got a hold of it. They didn't make it, but they distributed it, and they did a version of Sleeping Beauty. And holy cow, was that good! And it also had Finn Jones in it before anybody knew who he was.
Really?
This is him before he did Iron Fist.
Wow.
Well, he
And
was
it
on
was
Game
like
of Thrones also.
it was really. I got my copy. I got my copy at the local video store for $1.50, but I got it because I'm a huge Casper fan, and so I was like, oh man, it's gonna be Wild Eye. It's not gonna be very good.
Right.
But good lord, the budget was like $7 million. There was some money spent on that movie. It was really good.
That's awesome. We'll have to check it out.
Yeah, we'll keep our
Mr.
eyes
Dan,
open.
do you have a couple of movies on the top of your head that you really just liked and really just did not like?
Well, speaking of Wild Eye, when people just like roll their eyes, throw them in the same thing. They've distributed some movies, like that Lucio Fulci movie about the gladiators in the year 27. Anyway, so that was not like the best example of, but with Wild Eye, they've had some documentaries which are very good. The Search for Wang Wang was really good. That's a great one. And then Cat Sick Blues. Boy, that's a movie. Wow.
Hell yeah, that's a mind blower.
Yeah, that is like what am I watching here?
House on Cuckoo Lane.
No, I
Brilliant.
wanted to see that, but I haven't picked that one up.
I've heard of
Man,
it.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. They also had chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry.
I heard that
was a
was
mind
good too.
blower.
Yeah.
That was really good. Real.
I
good.
like some of the times when they try for like an homage, they can land pretty good. Like there's one called Queen Crab. Are the effects the best ever? No, but it was just kind of silly and kind of whimsical. And it was, if you like all monster movies, about giant, creatures, it wasn't bad. And then you have kind of like what you were talking about with Voodoo Apocalypse. You had Velocipaster.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Who was it? I think it was Echo. Our friend Echo came by, and he dropped this. He said that it's out of print now.
Oh wow!
And that people were asking and getting between $80 to $100 for it on eBay or Amazon. So I was like, for Velocipaster, people. I was like, oh. But it was a fun movie. I loved it. I thought it was hilarious.
That was hilarious too.
But you're right though. Cat Sick Blues was excellent. That was they. It's like I was there. It was like it's not Blumhouse where it's 50-50. It's more like 20-80, 15-85. But once their Grant Wild Eye did hit, it definitely dropped some really good movies on. But it's just that there are so many more that they didn't that weren't. And of course, the same thing goes for Asylum. I mean, I tuned into one, but by mistake, I was like, okay, this looks interesting. It was like I saw the title and I'm like, this sounds like an Asylum movie. But I'm gonna go ahead and check it out. It's called American Warships. I hit the button, and then I see Carl Weathers' name comes on, I'm like, oh, really? Okay. And then it was The Asylum. I'm like, oh, how the hell did that happen? uh, um, but now, have you guys, what other movies, type of movies do you like to watch other than, I mean, like, like that's one of the reasons why I do I do mine all over the place is because I just can't do horror movies all the time. I know there's some people that can do that, but I just can't. I gotta have a variety, otherwise I'll just go nuts.
We do, yeah. We like comedy movies a lot, and then he likes romantic comedies and stuff. So we
Nice.
watch those sometimes.
But yeah, I mean, I love a good action flick, and I'm pretty much, if anything catches my attention, we'll watch it. But since we met and bonded over horror movies, that's always been kind of our our mainstay.
Right.
But
mysteries are good too.
Yeah,
like
mysteries
who
are
done
good.
it? Yeah,
like the Knives Out series has been
love
really
the
good.
Knives Out series. Yeah,
But yeah, anything that catches our fancy. And I'm a huge Hugh Grant fan, and so anytime there's a new Hugh Grant movie, I gotta watch it.
Oh, speaking of that though, he was great in the
Heretic.
Yeah, Heretic.
Oh yeah, Heretic was good.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Really
we were talking about that for like hours after it was over.
After it was over, we spent like 2 or 3 hours just talking about the whole
crazy. Yeah.
I saw the preview for that. And I was hooked right there. I was like,
oh yeah,
wow, that looks so good. I mean, I just, he played against type, but he sort of played against type a little bit too in The Gentleman. Like he plays sort of like a gangster in that movie, and it's like totally not, totally against what he normally does. So that's as you get older, you make the adjustment, and I'm glad to see that. I'm glad to see he embraced that, and he did a movie like Heretic. I think it's it got him some of the best. It got him some of his best reviews recently.
I think
I'll just showcase a couple of these, not too much. I'll just show. So this is like coming up on Dollar Theater. So I do some of the general stuff too. Put Save the Date. That's an IFC film, so it's more gentle. But then we pop back up with horror. We got this one, Z. It's a Shudder exclusive. So I'll be covering this. Yeah, this was interesting. I love the actress, the lead actress in this movie, Keegan Connor Tracy. I love her, and the first half of the movie was interesting, but the second half, I don't know what happened to it. It just went away. The director's got a new movie out called Night of the Reaper, which looks promising. Then sometimes to go back to the 60s, to the Rat Pack. So we hung out with the Rat Pack for Ocean's 11, and then we'll do Where the Crawdads Sing.
Oh yeah, I've been wanting to see that. I haven't seen it yet.
I've been wanting to see that too, and here's one on a true story. Breaking. This is based on a true story, true event about a young man who needed money for a medical procedure, and he held up a bank. And the last one I'll show you guys is I won't be here all night. I also do documentaries, and I got this a long time ago. I got this like 6 years ago, and this is actually I thought when I got this. This was a complete blind buy, and I thought it was about the Jaws and the shark in Jaws. I thought they were trying to say Bruce, the model. So that's what I thought. No, it turned out to be that one woman who goes out there and swims with the sharks all the time. She's gonna end up in a bad way. Her name's Ocean Ramsey, and I got that way before I ever heard of her. I didn't know who she was at all until like this year, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I know that person, and she's on the documentary I got. Do you guys do documentaries as well?
Love documentaries. Yeah, we do.
Especially pop culture documentaries, like just because again, special features and things like that. So stuff about music or movies, TV is the big thing. But we also like watching, anything that catches our eye. You know, food or history or
He's one of those people who watch every single feature on when you get like the special features and stuff. So I feel like those are always like little mini documentaries, right? Like it's like the history and like showing you what happened during the movie. He watches everything. So he's a good.
And then I'll buy the book about it and read that. And
the only person I ever watched the commentary on that I did not like at all man, talk about someone who was full of himself was Nicholas Winding Refn. Oh,
Really?
my Lord. Yeah,
He's a hell of a filmmaker. I didn't realize he was. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he talked about Drive as being the third coming to Christ and God. And it was just like, dude, it's not it's an okay movie, but it's not. I mean, he was just painted like it's the most important movie of the last 50 years, and it's like, I don't know how to break it to you, but it ain't.
Mhm.
He bought the hype, I guess.
Yeah. Who are some of your favorite directors? I mean, we're talking dollar store here, but outside of that, who are some of the, like, who are some of your favorite actors and directors?
Yeah.
And Mr. Dan can jump in on that as well.
Mhm.
He said actors too.
Go ahead.
Oh. I mean, for me, Quentin Tarantino is one of my favorites. I'm a Rob Zombie fan. I know that's kind of divisive, but
I like it.
I do like his films are some of my favorite to watch just because of the production of it. His the style, the art, and everything with it. I'm also a John Woo fan, and I was trying to think of some older directors to throw in there. Stanley Kubrick, J. Lee Thompson. You want to go back a little further there?
I always forget people's names, so I'm just like,
I
don't know. Oh, who's doing Frankenstein?
Guillermo del Toro.
Yes, that's who I like. I never remember.
Okay. Let me interject this question, and I want to hear this from the chat as well. I want to bring them into this. Why do we continuously get movies like this remade over and over and over and over?
Because it's such a lovely story. We're like, Frankenstein fans. Like, I have Frankenstein tattooed on me. Like, I could watch different iterations of it like over and over again.
Well, it's kind of like whenever the question comes up and people are like, why are there so many remakes, and isn't there any new IP out there? But I always relate it to music, because a good pop song is a good pop song, and if somebody writes a song and somebody likes it and they want to take their own take on it, think of classical music. How many times have they done Beethoven's sonata? Has it been redone by different orchestras? Or how many times have you heard I Saw Him Standing There done by other people? It's the same kind of thing. If it's something that's a timeless story, like they used to have storytellers that would tell the story and it got passed down for generations. Frankenstein is one of those stories that is just timeless, and it fits a lot of different modes and can go into different, like The Bride that's coming out by Maggie Gyllenhaal. They're kind of doing Bonnie and Clyde meets Frankenstein's monster. And you can just kind of plug it in and tell different stories using those characters. And so it's just,
it's like timeless. Art imitating art, and that kind of thing. And
I mean, I've seen two different movies, I guess three different movies that I've seen have taken the Frankenstein monster as we've known it, and they totally just made it their own. Van Helsing, I, Frankenstein, and then there was one set in a modern time. There was a Frankenstein set in a modern time, and it was different. And it was like, okay, it's not the same thing that we've already seen. We've already seen. And it gets me curious to, like, why do they keep remaking Robin Hood or King Arthur or Frankenstein, or it's like now they're having Dracula. Like, how many times can you bring Dracula back? I mean, it's just like. It's like I'm just like it amazes me. It's like I don't ever hear anybody ever talk about, like, I want to see the 100th version of Frankenstein. I just don't, it always baffles me how some of these movies get made when or put all the money behind it, when a lot of good movies, they don't get that love, especially if it's an original story.
Well, it's like zombie films. There's 8 billion different zombie films, but it's a different take on it. Every single time, I feel like Frankenstein's a character, and so is a zombie. It just happens to be like zombies are like a whole league of people, right?
Yeah, I mean, it could be an allegory or a metaphor for a lot of different things.
Yeah,
that's a beautiful thing about genre filmmaking, is that you can tell a story using that genre that then can be something that is subtext for a larger, thing that's going on or something of real importance. But you can do it in a way that's entertaining and that's kind of a fun little riff on it. So.
Yeah.
The twins are, I think they're back in your play here. It says, so excited for the new Frankenstein film. I guess maybe because Del Toro has his hand in it, maybe that's what, it's making it, stand out a little bit more, but it's still basically the same story. And I just I don't know what he's going to bring new to the party, especially if he says he's going to make it, take it back to where it started, in the old days, like I Frankenstein was interesting because it was a fantasy. Van Helsing was interesting because it was like an action adventure, it was like, and they made the Frankenstein's monster. That's probably my favorite depiction of the creature was in Van Helsing.
Yeah.
I love that performance. I mean, I'm sitting here watching that movie, and it's Frankenstein's monster, it's Van Helsing, Dracula, and when he's crying for I want to be free.
Yeah.
Who's cutting onions in here?
All right.
But I mean, you look at something like the Dracula story, and you think about like The Last Voyage of the Demeter, which took this little tiny section of the book and blew it up into this. I thought that movie was just a whole lot of fun, like a really well done movie, but it took one aspect of the story and made it into the entire thing. So I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. I just wanted to mention the movie, I guess.
The twins mentioned here, it's great to see one's perspective. It's a timeless story. Big fan of Del Toro. Me too. I just wish that he would have made another Pacific Rim already.
Yeah.
I don't
think that's happening.
I mean, or at least let him do another Hellboy.
Yeah.
That's just me. Mr. Dan, how about you? What do you feel about that? I mean, are you a big proponent of seeing 100 Frankenstein films, or?
Well, with Del Toro, I've always, it's Frankenstein. It's werewolf movies in general. It's Dracula. I mean, where's our Creature from the Black Lagoon remake?
Exactly. I agree.
Del Toro made a Creature from the Black Lagoon-ish movie that was pretty darn good. Yeah. And now I hear, and I forget who is currently supposedly developing this Creature from the Black Lagoon movie, but I haven't heard anything about it. That and a Mummy movie, and then all of a sudden, who just directed Nosferatu? Help me out here.
Robert Eggers.
Yeah, now Eggers is interested in.
He's doing
Monster, but I guarantee you he's going to beat the other ones to the punch because he's like on a roll, and I haven't heard anything about these other films. I don't know. If the story's good, I mean, I love all the Hammer ones, the Dracula ones, and the Frankenstein ones, even the ones that aren't quite as good. It kind of goes up and down a little bit, but overall, they're just so much fun. And that they basically took Dr. Frankenstein and made him the bad guy, and then swapped out a new monster every movie, which is really kind of genius when you think about it.
Yeah.
Because they could put little twists on it. Frankenstein Created Women is, to me, that's like as good as the first one. I don't know. It's just funny how some of these ideas they just keep
recycling,
regurgitating, but then you have I finally watched Wolfman. See, because I'm doing a live stream, I'm not remembering any names now. The guy that made Lee Winnell. I thought his take on the Invisible Man was great. I don't know why it took me so long to see that, and I was like, whoa! He took the idea of the Invisible Man to modern times. Yeah, I thought it was great. And then the Wolfman, like I'm still trying to figure out, like, what were they trying to do there with that? Like, you don't have to have like the lore, the Kurt Sidmiak lore, and with the Wolf's Bane and you could go other ways, but don't you have to have some element from the story?
Right.
He didn't really even look like a wolf. I don't know. I just didn't quite get what aspect, like, because I think with Frankenstein and Dracula, there's little bits of it, like you said, you can take and expand on. With the Wolfman, I don't know. whatever they were trying to do, it didn't really work for me.
Yeah.
We enjoyed aspects of it, but
Mhm.
it did fall a little short because it had such a great cast and
Yep.
the pedigree behind it was amazing. And it just kind of was, there were some interesting things to it, but you know, and speaking of Frankenstein, I think one of my favorite takes on that was Paul Morrissey's Flesh for Frankenstein, which may be unpopular, but you know, that the Andy Warhol version, I guess most people would know it as, but
yeah,
that was a trip. Anyway.
That was a Hammer movie, but I certainly liked that one. That was interesting. Uh-oh, did I freeze up?
You froze for a second, but I think you're
good. Yeah, my our buddy Al Licard, he turned me on to that because he did a series on Titans of Terror, and that was, I guess that was the main Hammer girl was Ingrid Pitt, and I had never seen her before, and then I was like, wow, how come I had never heard of her? Yeah, she was great. She's like I guess that in the '60s version of Monica Bellucci.
Yeah, really.
So let's we've come to our point, but I'm going to go ahead and let both of you guys talk about what's coming up on your channel. There's anything special you guys are doing for the Spooktacular or upcoming? We know now that the Newlydeads will be doing Hallmark movies in Christmas. I'll be there for that. But what else do you got going on between now and the rest of the year? We'll go with you first.
Yeah. He decided to do a Halloween kind of thing. So you want to talk about how you're choosing your movies and stuff?
Yeah, I kind of stuck with specifically themes that either take place on Halloween or revolve around, like a haunt or something. So, for the Halloween season, we're doing, the horrors of Halloween, which are all specifically things that I found on Tubi.
That way anybody can watch it.
Right.
We wanted to make it so it's accessible.
And Tubi's free, so it's under $5, rather than getting a subscription service. And then of course we've got the Christmas thing coming up. But other than that, we actually on Saturday we are artists as well. So outside of the movie stuff, we make art, and we're doing the 5th annual Witches Market here in Belvedere, Illinois, at the Boone County Fairground from 2 to 8 on Saturday. And we're making a mad dash to get everything done before then. But 150 vendors, music, food, just all kinds of stuff. It's a big party.
So if you're in the northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin, or just want to drive
hours and hours,
come visit us. You can come say hi and high five us. Give Joel a hug because he likes hugs.
We like to make primarily like not necessarily horror themed, but spooky themed. We do creepy, cute type stuff.
Yeah, like I paint ghosts. I sculpt ghosts. Yeah, different things. I do wood burning. Yeah,
I do digital art and acrylic painting and things like that.
He did a phenomenal Halloweener. It's a hot dog, and they like one of them looks like the Mummy, one of them looks like the creature from the Black Lagoon, and the other one looks like Dracula, right? Or is it Frankenstein?
Yep.
Yeah, it's Frankenstein. But they're all hot dogs. They're really cute.
And they're in kind of that,
they're stickers.
That old school Mickey Mouse style with the, like
gloves, and like the little it's adorable. Halloweeners.
Yep. Trademark.
Well, that sounds like something we need to check into. Now this is art, so can we if someone wants to get a Halloweener, could they get it through your website?
We used to do that, but
I would say you can email us, and we would be glad to send you a sticker. Yeah. We used to sell them on there, but it was a little hard to keep up, and it wasn't doing great. So we would be happy to discuss it if you want to email it. Yeah. And you can do that at contact@thenewlydeads.com.
Yep. Yeah. Just look through our website. Mm-hmm. But on our Facebook page and stuff, we'll post stuff there as well. So
Mr. Dan, what do you got going on? I know you're still doing your 3 or the top 3 of every week.
Yeah.
I watch your channel in this is my top 3 witches, and I'm going like, okay, Mr. Dan's dropped something cool here. Let me see if I can find 3 witch movies I liked. So what's going on your channel between now and let's say the end of the year? Where do you get? What goals do you have? I'll see you being interviewed. Yeah.
Right. Well, for this month, I'm just trying to throw in some different kind of content. I got like some arts and crafts videos, maybe. Now, this Saturday at 10, I have a somewhat of a longer video. It's like my top 15 favorite print media items, science fiction or horror, magazines, books, comic books, whatever. So that's a half an hour. So, get your coffee and hang out in the chat for that. So, and what I'm trying to do this month is premiere a lot of videos so I can be in the chat with people. Then I have a top 11 favorite Halloween TV episodes I'm working on.
Nice.
And then I'm doing like the sort of the martial arts / horror movies this month. We've got a whole bunch of those, a lot of the Mr. Vampire movies and the sequels. And then beyond that, for November, last year I did Norris November. I did 10 Chuck Norris movies and I ranked them.
Fun.
I'm probably, and I have 10 more. I kind of left. I did the best 10 last year, though. I got a few good ones left over, but then some of the ones that are like, oh boy. So I might actually scale that back and do like 5 this year, and then just kind of take it a little bit more easy in November. So we'll see.
Will there be any racing going on for the winter circuit?
We're going to have to do some, and yes, some of the arts and crafts that I'm doing are sort of die-cast related. So yeah, and we're gonna definitely try to do some racing. I'm probably actually this Sunday. I'm actually taking my track somewhere. You know what? Oh, I don't have it here. I had a piece of it. Well, I'll be putting it on Instagram. But I'm making. I've a year ago I saw this thing on like the Bradford Mint. It was like the Frank N. Stein garage, and I was like, that looks pretty cool. So I pretty much just tried to copy that with cardboard. So at the end of the track, the cars go into the garage door.
That's cool.
It's wow. That'd be cool.
Yeah. So I'll have some footage. Yeah.
Don't really have much other than what I read up before you guys got here. Probably the 3 biggest things other than my interviews are we're doing 2 watch parties. We're doing one on the 11th for Christy, starring Haley Bennett, and then we're doing one on the 25th, and that is The Little Mermaid. And it's not the Disney Mermaid. And then on 26th, we'll be here for the ISC Midnighters, me, Ben, and Mary, and we're going to be watching and discussing Pontypool.
I like Pontypool. He did not. I liked it though.
He did not like Pontypool.
He didn't like Pontypool. I know. I don't know what's wrong with him.
You know what? It's starring one of our great horror icons that never gets recognized, and Stephen McHattie. Stephen McHattie is just like Lance Henriksen, but no one knows who Stephen McHattie is.
Right.
Super elevator. See Stephen McHattie, you got yourself a good movie. So that's what we'll be doing. Other than the interviews I'll be doing. It'll be a lot of fun. And I want to thank you guys for coming out and doing this. I definitely would like to have you guys come back because this was a lot of fun. Yeah. And we would definitely want to. I would have probably asked you guys later on if you want to do I have another series that I'm doing, but I think it'll be perfect for us dollar store guys. I have something up my sleeve, and I'll throw it your way. We'll throw Mr. Dan in here too and make it a triple threat.
Sounds good.
Yeah, awesome.
We gotta get you. And if you guys all want to do dollar theater, so I'm gonna say, like, I know I always say it's $1.25. But I'm going to go with the Newlydeads and saying, if you guys want to do a dollar theater and you need a $5 limit and below, you guys are more than welcome to do dollar theater with us. So many obscure movies out there that never get any love. I mean, look at our playlist, for example. Our playlists are like, what? And that's really what I'm aiming for. I want people to come look at my playlist and say, what the hell? Because that means I'm doing my job, right? Because you guys are gonna be watching it and go like, that's so different. I've never heard of that movie. I've never heard of that actor, whatever. So, but if you guys want to do dollar theater, dollar store drive-in, $5 or less, let us know. So if you guys make a playlist, we'll help promote you.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. And Mr. Dan, if you get your list put together, we'll promote you as well.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. All right. That'll be it. I want to thank you to chat for coming out and hanging out with us. Just let you know at 10:15, which is in about an hour or so, 45 minutes or so, the Midnight Hour will be up and running with Hobbs Horror,
right.
who originated our Dollar Theater. He'll be up and running on his channel for the Midnight Hour. So go on over there, give him some love, tell him we sent you. And that starts at 10:15 Eastern time, about 45 minutes on Hobbs Horror's channel.
Yeah. The Midnight Hour is watching the Midnight Hour tonight.
Yeah, I saw that. Isn't that awesome?
I love
that. That's so Josh Hobbs right there, right?
Right, exactly. Yep. He's a huge Halloween fan too, just like you guys. He loves Halloween. Yeah.
In fact, he coined the term the spectacular, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But that's it for us. We will be back next Monday and talking to filmmaker Brooke Tantor next Monday at 8 o'clock. Hope to see you there. If you guys stay there for one quick second, I'm going to say goodnight to the chat. Thank you again so much. We'll see you soon. Have a great night. Peace.